All right, so as promised, the lighting and everything isn't all of what it should be. I get that. Neither is probably the distance of the camera to the, setup here or whatever. This is definitely a one shot because I'm not getting up off of this chair to go and figure out how to do all that where that stuff is. And so thanks for watching the videos. I really appreciate it. It's real important that I practice sort of some of the things that I say, right? And I really was inspired by a comment on a YouTube video earlier from a mukbang. And, it kind of had some relation to with some of the things that I was saying earlier on in the week about how I think sometimes just, the good thing about mukbangs is that it could be like opposite. So instead of seeing somebody just kind of stuff their face, we could be a little more chill and have a little meal together. And so that's kind of the concept. So welcome to Saturday Night Mukbang with the dude that does vlogs about nothing. So let's talk about what I'm going to eat, right? And also the tools aren't very elaborate on my side. So not only is this going to be a one take, but it's going to have to be under 10 minutes. So let's work on these things together and take advantage of the time that we have now, because the phone won't let me record more than a certain amount of minutes, and then I'm sure this is going to take me a little bit longer than 10 minutes to eat probably. So let's start with what I have. Okay, so I have a cup of coffee. Now there's like a story behind everything, which is also why I feel like maybe I'll try to get it to 15 minutes just because there's so much to talk about. And again, let's welcome ourselves to the chill space, right? I'm a little uptight right now because I am hungry. And it's, if you're hungry when you eat, it's already too late, kind of a thing. You have to be very mindful of it. And I've noticed that with me not eating little to no meat, it's sort of like the energy level, has sort of been a little bit lower than normal with that stuff. So we have my coffee cup, which I got maybe 8 years ago or so from a thrift store in Chandler, Arizona. It's my favorite coffee cup in the world. It's only one of two that I use for my coffee. And basically all I do is drink coffee and water, right? The cool thing about my water is that I got the best freaking roommate in the world, and he's really into clean water as I am. So we got like a couple of these water pictures that make the pH balance and all that other stuff just pretty ripe, like for taste or whatever. I don't know. It's this cleaner that cleans the water and it makes it taste really good. I also put cucumbers and lime in my water because that's about as fancy as I get with the flavorings. I did eat a lime earlier though. That was pretty good. And so yeah. All right. And then also just for the record too, these plates were cool way before the Taylor Swift video, right? They're actually a really popular pattern that was used like way back in the day. And this plate belonged to my grandma, right? So it's my favorite plate. It's my favorite plate. And the matching bowls and other little plates I found at a thrift store near my parents' house in Tempe, Arizona. And so that's the story of what we got here. So we got the plates. We've just gotten to the plates so far, I guess. But I have some grapes, and I have a cut up mango, and I have some jambalaya rice, which is a newly introduced cuisine to me. Sort of like Spanish rice. But I have a roommate. He's from Arkansas. So that kind of part of the country is known for some certain food, including like Cajun spicy type food and stuff, like Creole food and things like that, and lots of fish boils and stuff that is just not normal, like to me, because I grew up in the desert. So I really like this jambalaya rice though. It's pretty good. All the stuff here is pretty like whole food, I'd say. I mean, I'm not like a dietitian or a nutritionist by any means. If you've seen any of my videos, you might know that. I like to learn about a lot of stuff, but that's probably the extent of it. So let's get started, right? And here's like another interesting little thing. I got these from a resort that I worked at in Phoenix. Or no, this one was from in Scottsdale, the Scottsdale Resort. So that's thanks Scottsdale Resort. Total accident. I used to bus there and ended up with a couple of their uh, napkins, and so that's what I use. And so let's get started. Again, I typically like don't even. I mean, I've had relationships end because I don't like to eat with or in front of people. Honestly, I mean, do you see a ring on this finger? Like, I don't. I'm kind of a peculiar dude in that. So this is helping me more than anybody could possibly imagine in terms of experimenting with things that are unfamiliar to me and or uncomfortable, so that I can see, you know, what it's all about and not be so biased about some things. Because I always felt like eating, and again, this is our first time. I want to do this every single Saturday night because this is what I do on Saturday nights, and I'd have it no other way. I'd rather just be chilling with my roommate, you know, smoking a little bit, hanging out, making food. You know, I live the life I want to live. By no way, shape, or form do I want anything to change in that regard, other than adding the Saturday night mukbang with y'all and having this be the first one, and it's being such a big deal for me because, again, typically I don't even like to eat in front of other people, if we're being honest, just because I'm like I can get messy, and I focus on manners maybe sometimes too much in terms of like, obviously I can go out and eat dinner with people, these things like that. I can go to functions and stuff, but I still have yet to eat any of this food. So let's talk about what we're eating. We have grapes in this bowl, a mango here, the jambalaya rice here, elote, which is really good. It's corn, obviously, but it's got Mexican crema on it. It's got this other cheese that I don't know how to pronounce the name because I can't recall the name. And yeah, and it also has some chili powder and some spray on butter, which is probably the most ultra processed food in all of this. And then, of course, boiled eggs. And so, again, if you didn't know, I'm trying to eat little to no meat. And I guess somebody had told me, a friend of ours, my roommate, one of his friends, a mutual person that I know, and I don't eat a lot of meat, I guess, typically, even before I started this whole little new fad of trying to cut out meat, sort of maybe completely. But I'm quickly realizing that you can't do that. I just have to be better with like the kind of meat that I eat. I learned chicken's terrible for you, so I won't be eating any chicken, stuff like that. But anyways, for now, on this Saturday night, this is what we're eating. And this is the entirety of the meal, right? So there's no extra meat or anything that's like cooked in anything like that. I don't use oil or grease. I mean, I don't use oil for anything at all. There is a half a tablespoon of avocado oil in this rice. I don't use any kind of oil to cook with my food or anything like that. We tend to use more butter and dairy-based products and stuff like that, I guess, and non-dairy, but not soy either. So, anyways, yeah, welcome, and seriously, thanks. Sorry for the long preface there, but it's really nice to grow as a person on the channel, and I've completely dedicated my life to this channel. So, you know, there's also that. So I'm hoping that at some point that has some impact on other things in my life, namely like having a bunch of people watch, getting some subscribers, selling some ad space. You know how the grind goes. Setting up a Patreon channel, all of these things, right? So, all right. Let's start with the elote, okay? And again, so thank you guys for watching and chilling, and leave comments in the space below. I want to know what y'all eat. I want to know what you guys want me to talk about when we're doing our mukbangs, or if you know, don't want to talk about anything at all and just eat and sort of ASMR type of thing. I'm also down for that too. But I probably should start eating because I'm getting a little grumpy. So, wow, just one bite of food. It's incredible. I mean, day's gone pretty good. Made 3 videos earlier. Cleaned up the kitchen a little bit. It was good. It was good. Obviously did a little bit of writing because something that I still do. It's just I'm trying to focus on, you know, getting to a point where I can do like cooler videos and stuff, you know? I think manners are important. Like when you eat, I don't know, like what do I mean by manners? I just mean like being clean, you know? Or not. I mean, I just got through saying that like when I'm not on camera and I'm by myself eating or whatever, I feel like I get messy. I mean, obviously I don't eat like a savage or anything, but yeah. Excellent price point on these corn. So like Walmart, for the record, best store in the world. Just I've said it before 1 million times. I freaking love Walmart. I freaking love Arkansas. Okay, seriously, I do. I could literally not have half the quality of life that I would have like that I have now without Walmart and thereby Arkansas because Sam Walton and the whole thing there. So at Walmart, these things are 33 cents a piece, and and you boil them up, and there's recipes online, but I found my first one online because I don't typically haven't ate a lot of elote, and so you get that Mexican crema and you boil the corn and then you layer it and stuff. It's really good food if you've never had it. Like it's pretty common here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, northern New Mexico is what I can speak of, right? In like Glendale in West Valley, in the West Valley in Phoenix. So where typically a lot of Spanish people are, and it could be all kinds of Spanish people, but if you've ever seen like a Spanish person, push a shopping cart down the street, selling fresh ear corns, corns of ears of corn or whatever, that's yeah, that's elote, and you can put all kinds of stuff on it, just like we're eating now. It's really good stuff. I want to say it's good for you, but I just know that it tastes good and it's not like processed. So there's that. I think the best part of life is learning and eating, learning from your mistakes, namely. I make a ton of them. I've made a ton of mistakes in my life, but I try to learn from them. And while I make more mistakes than anyone I've ever met, honestly, each mistake I make is just slightly different from the one before. So it's sort of like I'm just sort of testing variables out, I guess, as it pertains to what works out and what doesn't. But yeah, I say that because I'm, sitting in front of the camera doing a mukbang video or whatever, like a real one for what it is. I mean, they'll get better. It took me like 20 minutes to set up my room so that I could like have the food in the camera. So it'll get better. It's just, we all got to start somewhere. And I think everyone's seen, or if you haven't, everyone will see sort of where this channel started, the things that we talk about. I hope that you guys get to know me more because I definitely want to get to know, people, other people too. And I've said that before, and I'll always say it. It's not just about views and subscribers. Like, if that's what it was about, then a lot of content creators wouldn't make content. Very very few content creators who are lucky enough to like make a living off of this stuff, and everything. And I guess we all strive towards that, I guess, content creators, but it's essentially never gonna change. It's somebody coming up and creating content to watch, and I think there's something really majestic about that. I think especially when it's just somebody talking and eating or sleeping or whatever, like for real. It's always nice to have some human companionship, I'd say, for sure too, like in a real kind of a way, not like this constant bombardment of noises and graphics and things like that. Well, all that stuff is fun. I like OG, like this is what it's about, is, talking to people, wanting to make new friends, engaging with the people that watch your stuff, and asking them, like I have, like what other mukbang channels can I watch? But again, I'm more interested in like the chill ones where basically it's somebody talking and maybe doing hardly any, even like any eating. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, so tomorrow is Sunday. Fridays I take a day off from working out and taking my walk or whatever. So it was back at it today for me with my daily walk and working out. But I mean, life as a bachelor, and it's probably the same, in a lot of places, but in Albuquerque, there's not a lot of things to do to begin with. Not like a major nightlife, not any crazy social stuff to do. There's a lot of stuff to do for old people. This is like an old people city, and I mean that. Like if you're retired and you want to buy a Harley and do nothing all day and ride around in great weather, it's just kind of the place to do it, which is why so many people do it. But unless you're going over to a bowling alley or a local club joint or whatever for till 2 in the morning, where all the same people go forever and all the time in perpetuation. So that's just, it's got like a real small towny vibe in that, so that most of the people who live here now that we've become gentrified, I've noticed, don't have any sort of life after work and their family, I guess, which is not a bad thing. But it impacts the community in that I would say that there aren't as many opportunities for like young people to stay out of trouble. For example, that's a good one that I bring up, just because there's the lack of people moving around and doing things on a large sort of scale, and it's really weird. A lot of people live in Albuquerque and in Rio Rancho, right where I'm at, but they don't. Again, like they just go home and that's it and stuff. Again, and I see that there's nothing wrong with that, but in other cities, I've seen people like out and about. There's things to do. If it's like a restaurant that's mixed retail and has stuff or whatever it could be. I mean, the worst thing about living here is that the weather's so nice, but typically everything closes like between 8 to 10, and this is basically citywide. So there's again not a lot to do, and there's a nice college campus scene. But again, like unless you're in college, you feel me, or you live in that area, then like you don't really get to see all that. hmm So yeah, that's what I've been up to. My boring, very simple, very happy life in terms of what I got going on right now. My plans for the immediate future are to do this and not give up on anything. It's just to keep making videos, keep making content, and hope for the best. Try to make good content, try to make new friends, and that's really all that I can do. And so there's like, I mean, can you imagine being 36 years old? I would say that I'm not like the brightest tool in the tool chest, but I'm also like not dumb, I would say. But I say that because like it's tough finding a job. It's tough in Albuquerque. Moreover, I'd argue too that unless you have like a graduate degree, not even just like a bachelor's degree, it's really hard to get any sort of meaningful work here. And I think that's been a big part of me trying so hard to finally get around to what I've been wanting to do my whole life. And it's weird because I feel like when you get older, sometimes you don't do what you need to do until you have to do it, type of thing. And I think like it's also the way that I've put myself in these situations too, making decisions and not necessarily caring as much about um, financial incentivization as much as I probably should have been concerned about it. However, I can't really be regretful either because this is again like my ideal sort of life already in terms of just keeping it chill. And I needed a little bit of time because last year was really bad. Um, really bad. I made some terrible decisions and spent a lot of time with the person that I've grown to borderline hate, in that like I'm not a very hateful person, but sometimes when two people get together, they just don't mix right, and then you end up getting mad at the other person because of all the dumb decisions you've made, and that's kind of where I was at, I'd say. And it's just weird to think that at this time last year, my priorities were way different, and they should have never got to where they were. But people make mistakes and stuff, and going back to that whole mistakes thing, it's kind of weird how sometimes I just slightly make a different kind of mistake than what I have in the past, just to kind of test the world. Okay. I've come up with the solution. This will be a 2-part video because I gotta end this. Otherwise, it's gonna end on its own, and it's not gonna have the proper conclusion. That's a funny story. No, it's not a funny story, but I'm gonna tell you guys more stories when we come back. So, all right, until the next video, and thanks for watching. And you guys, seriously, leave comments below. I want to see and hear about other mukbang videos, people I can follow. If you want to chat or whatever too, like on the comment section, that's always welcome. So yeah, we're gonna end this one now, and then I'm gonna post it, and then wait for the memory to clear on my phone, and then continue. So give me a little break from eating here too, because I want to actually finish the meal with y'all. So cheers. And this would be a good time to, I guess, also take a break if you're about to either eat or you're going to get some food to eat with me in the next video. But again, like, let's make this a family thing. It's like family time, right? You, stranger over there, you, and you. Like, let's seriously throw on your phone. We're not out partying crazy right now, so let's just take it easy. Maybe a little smoke break, right? So I'll see you guys in a few.